Hey everyone! I just want to share a new junk journal that I finished. This one was made with a vintage Shakespeare book. I recently went to a book sale at the local library and picked up some really beautiful old books. And so I'm making it my mission to use some of them for junk journals and stuff. So with this one, I wanted to keep the spine intact, and so I did like a hidden spine inside, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute. It's about 6 by 9 and about 2 inches thick. It's gotten to be quite chunky. There's 6 signatures, and it's just basically filled with scrapbook paper and blank paper and book pages that I coffee dyed. I just went crazy one night and coffee dyed a bunch of paper, and then I ended up using it all in this book. I tend to do that. That's one thing I do when I decide I'm going to do something and I have one idea in my mind. I kind of go on that one idea like for the whole project. So in this one I wanted to do side tuck spots like Yvonne and Rachel do in their junk journals. And so I kind of went crazy with those, and you'll see them all through the book pretty much. And then I also wanted to create some edges for the beginning of each of the 6 signatures. But I don't have edge punches, and the one I do have, I don't really care to use those kinds of punches much. I don't know. I don't like them. So I went into Photoshop. I designed a couple of these shapes, and then I cut them in my Cameo, and then I put them in throughout the book. So they're just glued along the edge on the back side of each beginning of the 6. I wanted to show you how I did this spine that you can't see the stitching, but these are all stitched with the pamphlet stitch. So all I did was I cut out a 2-inch strip, 2 by 9 of a pizza box, and then I measured where the signatures were going to be sewn through, right? And then I poked all my holes. And then as I went along with each signature, instead of sewing them into the cover, right, like you would do when your stitching is showing, I just stitched the 6 signatures into this piece. So then what I was left with was all of my signatures, the inside guts of my book, attached to this, which I was then able to glue to the spine of the book. So when I glued that in, I left it for a few hours with some rubber bands sort of thing, like wrapped around, just to hold it in, right? And so that's how my hidden spine is glued or attached to this. And then to further sort of secure the whole book together, these end papers here go up about an inch right here. So then I was able to glue this and the 1-inch piece here to the front page of the front signature, and then one to the back page of the back signature. So that's how my whole book is held together. Okay, so that's one little thing that I wanted to show you. The other thing that I do, which is a trick that, I don't know, I think maybe some of you more seasoned junk journal makers know about, but this is more for beginners in case you're a beginner and you're just starting out and you're wondering how efficiently you can do the stitch binding for your signatures. What I usually use is my phone book that I open up like halfway so that I have a crease here, and I make myself a little template before I start, and my template will contain the amount of holes that I plan on using for my signature. So in this one I had 5 holes, okay? And then what I do is we'll pretend this is a signature that has like 5 or 6 pages. But what I end up doing is I hold my template inside my signature bunch of pages, like this. And then holding it down, I push it into the crease. So then I'm more certain when I'm punching with my awl into my holes that I'm actually punching through right in the exact crease of the signature, right at the fold. So that's why I use the book. So that's just something that just works really well for me, so I just wanted to show you that. It's got a lot of blank pages, and I was going to go through and actually stamp on some of these blank pages, but I'm really big on just doing the kinds of things and making the kinds of journals that I enjoy, and I'm discovering that stamping is just not something that I am good at, and it's not something that I actually enjoy doing. So, I mean, I don't beat myself up over that. I just, you know, I have stamps and sometimes I use them, but not a lot, and that's fine. So here we go. This is just an envelope that I can hide stuff in. And then most of these pages are either, the image is either just attached with a paper clip, or I made these tuck spots. And I'm just going to go through this quickly. Here's another tuck spot. This one I actually did use the edge punch, but only in a few spots. Another little tuck spot here. This one here is a doily. This is the other side of the envelope, and I cut the bottom out so that I can also slide things into the slit here. Another tuck spot. Some of these images I just love as is, so I just printed them and I'm including them in here because I really just enjoy looking at them. That's the only reason that I want to have them. They're just absolutely beautiful. This is a pocket. It's not full yet. I've just got it finished, so I added some of my favorite images in, but this will be a work in progress. I'll just keep adding as I find them. This one's pretty. And I may eventually actually use this one as a journal, you know, for writing and stuff. I don't know. I'm not nearly the journaler as I am the maker of journals. I don't use them all that much. Sometimes. I do art journaling, but journaling, not really. I love that one. This one too. So this one here is just the scallop circle, the larger one and a smaller one inside that I just ran through my Big Shot together, and it just made the this ring type. This brown paper is actually a huge roll of the wrapping stuff that you know, when you're sending parcels, and you need to create filler in your boxes when you get stuff from Amazon, that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is that paper. I have tons of that, so I'm, again, making it my mission to use what I have. What's fun about coffee dyeing in a pan is that whatever cooking time and you know, type of pan you have, it leaves marks on your paper, which is awesome. And I think this scrapbook paper, the pattern paper I used, is from Recollections. Really like that, the color scheme. A stamp. Just a little envelope that I left open and I glued it on by the flap. So as you can see, like I said, I was on this tangent of doing tuck spots, and that's what I did throughout the whole book, with a couple of little extra embellishments or die cuts that I had. Just love that. And then for my closure, I punched a hole through the cover itself and made a knot in my seam binding. This seam binding is just sprayed with, I forget which one, a little bit of Delusions and some Perfect Pearls, or maybe Tattered Angels, I forget. And then on the front here, just to make the hole, just to hide the boring little hole, I added a key here and a little charm. So that's my Shakespeare book. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'm also adding pictures at the end of this video. And I will be sharing more junk journals with you in the near future. Okay? Thanks a lot for watching. Bye!